Hi everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Learning Kitchen Live. My name is Colleen and I'm one of the dietitians here with Community Servings. As always, I wanted to give a shout out to Boston Scientific and thank them for supporting Learning Kitchen Live and remind anyone who may be watching that the recipe link will be posted in the comments after today's episode, as well as an ingredient spotlight on cauliflower. So I'm really excited to be sharing this week's recipe with you with football season in full swing and the Super Bowl right around the corner. I thought this would be a really good recipe to share. Americans eat as many calories on Super Bowl Sunday as they do on Thanksgiving, if not a little bit more. So it's one of the big eating days out of the year. And so I thought this would be a really good substitute for one of the traditional football meals, which is chicken wings. So today we're going to be making barbecue cauliflower wings with a Greek yogurt ranch dip. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a head of cauliflower already chopped up, and I'm going to add that into my batter. So this is just a mix of some reduced fat milk, some water, all-purpose flour, and then a couple of spices. So I added some garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of salt in there to give it some flavor. So we'll mix these up in the batter. Cauliflower is a really great meat substitute because it absorbs so many flavors really well. So if you're looking for a way to include meatless meals in your diet or cut the calories, cut the fat, cut some of the cholesterol, this is a really good meat substitute. I've also used it ground in place of like ground beef in tacos before, so it's a very versatile vegetable. So we have all of our cauliflower mixed in the batter, and from there we're going to dip each piece into our breadcrumb mixture. So this is a blend of some of those same spices, the garlic powder, onion powder, and salt, and then some panko breadcrumbs. So they'll get nice and crispy in this mixture. And then I would just shake each piece off, and we're going to line a tray single layer. This is really important so that they can get nice and crispy. If you stack them on top of each other, they're not going to brown as well. And I am going to put these in the oven today, but these would also be really good in an air fryer. If that's something you have at home, they would get really crispy in that too. So we'll do that. We'll repeat that with all of our cauliflower. I mentioned before that cauliflower is very versatile in terms of the texture. It's got kind of a meaty texture to it, but it can also be used as a substitute for certain starches. So you may have had it mashed in place of mashed potatoes or shaved down into small pieces. It could be a good substitute for regular white rice. You may have even seen it as like a pizza dough or pizza crust. So it's become really popular in recent years as a good substitute for some other starches. And there's only 5 grams of carbohydrates in 1 cup of cauliflower. So again, just a really good substitute. You could also add in any spices to this that you might like if you wanted to give it a little bit of extra heat, maybe some cayenne pepper, some other black peppers. Really customize it to whatever flavors you prefer. But like I said, today we just did the garlic powder, the onion powder, and a little bit of salt because those tend to mix well with ranch dressing. It's hard to find vegetables that are in season this time of year, but cauliflower is actually in season between December and March. So this is a good time to buy it. We are using fresh cauliflower, but if you wanted to use frozen, that would probably work well for this recipe too. I might just cut some of the water that you add to the batter so that they don't become soggy or anything. All right, so we have everything in a single layer, and that was easy. All we're going to do now is stick this in the oven at 450 degrees for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. And we'll flip them halfway through that so that they get crispy on each side. All right. And so when they come out, this is what they're going to look like. They're going to be nice and crispy, and you might be asking, well, where's the barbecue sauce? We're going to add that on now that they're already crispy so that the sauce doesn't get dried out. So here I have 1¼ cup of some Wegmans organic barbecue sauce. It's just an original blend. You could use whatever blend you prefer. I just picked this one up because it was a little bit lower in the salt and sodium. And then we'll just brush some barbecue sauce on top of our baked cauliflower. This way the sauce doesn't get dried out. We'll put these back in the oven for a few minutes, but they should still be kind of moist and saucy when they come out of the oven for the second time. Cauliflower is our ingredient spotlight of the week, and so I just wanted to highlight some nutrition benefits of cauliflower. It's very high in antioxidants, which can help with reducing your risk for cancer. It's low in carbohydrates, like I mentioned before, so a good starch alternative if you have diabetes or are looking for ways to cut the carbohydrates. It's also very high in vitamin C. One serving or 1 cup of cauliflower can provide 85% of your daily vitamin C needs. So really good to include in your diet this time of year because that vitamin C can help with preventing the common cold or just boost your immune system. It's also pretty high in potassium, which is another nutrient that we talk about a lot of times when it comes to heart health. So with this recipe, you're actually getting close to 800 milligrams of potassium in a serving, which is pretty good. And it's also fairly high in protein. So for a meatless meal, this gives you 15 grams of protein in a serving, compared to regular chicken wings, which would give you close to 25 for 4 wings. So it's not too far off for a meatless meal. So now that our cauliflower is brushed with the barbecue sauce, we're just going to put these back in the oven for a few minutes, and then we'll whip up our ranch dip. All right, so wings, of course, you have to have some sort of dip to go with it. So I wanted to provide a healthier alternative to regular ranch dip, which is usually made with some sort of mayonnaise or buttermilk or a combination of both. So today I have plain Greek yogurt. You could use non-fat. I just got a reduced fat version at the store. And so this is 1 cup of yogurt. And we're going to mix that together with a blend of some of those same spices to give it a ranch flavor. So in here I have the garlic powder, onion powder. There's also dried dill, parsley, and some fresh scallions, as well as a little bit of salt and pepper. So all we're going to do is mix this together, and that will give us our ranch dip. This also goes really well with celery or carrot sticks if you like to have those with your wings too. All right. So there's our dip all blended up. And again, thinking about ways to cut calories on Super Bowl Sunday or in football season in general, 2 tablespoons of regular ranch dip has close to 100 calories in it, whereas this, you're getting about 30 calories in 2 tablespoons. So you're cutting that significantly. It's also a lot lower in fat and a little bit lower in sodium too. So all of these things added up make for a fairly healthy football Sunday treat. All right. We're going to add some of this to our plate and then check on our wings here in a minute. We just wanted to put those in for a few minutes to absorb some of the barbecue sauce, but again, they're already baked because they've been in for 10 to 20 minutes already. So let's check on those and then we'll be all set with our snack. Right. So there you have it. They're very crispy. The sauce is still a little bit runny, which is what we want. You want that sauce to be dripping off of your fingers when you're biting into a wing. So we'll go ahead and put some of these on our plate, but this is a really good substitute for regular chicken wings. I hope that you give this a try at home and enjoy on Super Bowl Sunday. So there you have it. Thank you again for joining us today for Learning Kitchen Live, and we hope to see you next week.